What is going on, guys? Once again, Michael or Legacy Kill HD back today with another top 20 video for you. Today we're going to be concentrating on the upcoming shooter games for the next couple years. So make sure you let me know in the comments at the end of the video what shooter games you're looking for the most, and today I'm going to try to keep my pronunciations on point, so let's get right into it. Here at the 20 spot we have Homefront: The Revolution. It's an upcoming FPS for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It takes place 4 years after the events of the original occupation, following protagonist Ethan Brady as he stages a resistance movement against the army of a Korean invasion in the city of Philadelphia. I talked about this last time in the last upcoming videos, which we talked overall. I love the franchise. I love what they did with the first game. Fell a little short on the story, and honestly with this game, with all the madness that's been going through with all of THQ's titles and all the games that went out to other developers, it's been through such a mess that I really am scared for this. It was a fun multiplayer in the original, but this time around I really hope it is a lot like the original, but the graphics don't really look too great, so my hopes are a little bit there and iffy, but we'll have to see, and I really hope that it's not going to botch, which a lot of people are really assuming right now. So let's get down to the number 19 spot with Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. It's an upcoming open-world first-person tactical shooter in development by CI Games. It's set to be released worldwide for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One in the second quarter of 2016. It takes place in the modern day with a series of conflicts between three hostile factions. A proxy war and a civil war in Georgia also begins. In order to prevent another Cold War from happening, players must take control of a retired American Marine named Jonathan North as he proceeds to Georgia to find and eliminate its intruder with whom he shares a dark past. Man, I like open world games, and this does look a lot of fun. I like the realism that they're trying to go for, but at the same time they keep it stealthy. I know I was reading and listening to the commentary by one of their lead developers, and I like what he's saying. He's trying to make it a realistic game that it does make a lot of sense. And I get the Rush is going to be our main enemy, and I guess the big thing's about going after a general. I hope everything fits together. I mean, I get it, it's kind of like, feels like a Battlefield like open world environment with stealth like, you really can't just go guns blazing like a Call of Duty title, but I hope it keeps with that, and I hope that there's a lot of story to go with this, because it looks like it's a lot of fun, and I really hope to see what they bring with this title. So let's get down to the 18th spot with Battalion 1944. It's an upcoming multiplayer first-person shooter video game to be released for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The game will be set during World War II and will run on Unreal Engine 4. The game will be one of the first from studio Bulkhead Interactive, a studio composed of former AAA developers. The online portion of the game will be heavily skill-based, no single-player campaign, unfortunately. I mean, so far what I saw with this, it was a Kickstarter campaign. I think it raised above 300,000. They were going to have a single player if it reached a million plus, but it didn't quite get there. I mean, I like World War II shooters, and I like the realism. That's what I really go for, and I like that skill-based, not like how other titles have gotten nowadays. So that's really what gets me into this, and I love the setting and the fact that we're getting something that's World War II. It kind of gives me memories of the Medal of Honor in a lot of ways. So let's get down to the 17th spot with Watch Dogs 2. It's an open-world action-adventure third-person shooter stealth video game. It was confirmed for release at the end of Ubisoft's 2017 fiscal year, which is between April 2016 and March 2017. Rumors suggest a holiday 2016 release to cover, because, well, obviously we're not getting Assassin's Creed this year. And recently it was rumored that we're going to be having a new protagonist, so, I mean, originally I liked following Aiden. His character in a lot of ways did feel a little stale, so I guess it makes sense to go in a different direction, and I hope they take their time with this, because in a lot of ways this game was pumped up to be something much more than what it should have been, and hopefully they'll learn their lesson with Watch Dogs 2. So guys, let's get down to the number 16 spot. Here we have Titanfall 2. It was confirmed in March 2015 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. This time around it will have a traditional single-player campaign, and I don't think that was really the big miss of the original game. I feel like it fell flat for a lot of gamers after it got released. It was a really innovative idea, and it really did change a lot of the FPS genre in a lot of ways, but I get that they're adding the single-player campaign to attract more people, but when I played Titanfall, when I did play it, it wasn't because of that, it was because of the multiplayer. I felt that they could have added a lot more. I felt that some of the maps were really small in a lot of ways. So I hope they add a little bit more customization and add a little extra for what we can do, which I guess the single player campaign does count as that. But I mean, in a lot of ways, Titanfall 2, the original game, it was a great game. It was made by the original Infinity Ward, the guys who made COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, part of it. But say what you want, but Titanfall 2 is something to watch out for. Now here at the number 15 spot we have Mass Effect Andromeda. It's an upcoming action role-playing third-person shooter video game for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It will be taking place long after the original series with new characters, new setting, new everything. I mean, it's going to be in a new galaxy. I get why BioWare did this. They ended their trilogy. They're moving on. I just hope that they stick to a lot of the things that they brought with the original trilogy, which was some of their character development and, well, the way they made some of the characters, and the fact that we had a lot of choice with that. And I mean, I get the ending of Mass Effect 3. There was a lot of anger about that, and I'm glad that they made it up to us with extending the ending. But at the same time, I hope that this doesn't happen ever again with another Mass Effect title. Anyway, guys, let's get down to the number 14 spot with Overwatch. It's an upcoming multiplayer first-person shooter in development by Blizzard Entertainment for PS Vita, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It features squad-based combat with 2 opposing teams of 6 players each. Players choose one of several hero characters, each with their own unique abilities and role classes. It looks to be a newer and refreshing take on the FPS genre, which could be a lot of fun. Now let's get down to that number 13 spot with Star Wars by Respawn Entertainment. It's going to be a third-person action-adventure game. Very little is known yet, but I mean, it's Respawn Entertainment. When they were Infinity Ward, they brought us 2 amazing Call of Duty games. Well, 1.5, I guess you could say. And then we got Titanfall, and obviously we got Titanfall 2 coming out soon. I really hope that they set this right in the right period and we get a good Star Wars game. I mean, I have no problem with Star Wars Battlefront, made by DICE. I feel like it felt short in a lot of ways, and I know that a lot of people did enjoy it, but I also know there's a lot of people that did not enjoy it. And I know that there's another one coming from Visceral Games, and I believe there's another title coming from another studio, maybe BioWare, but I'm not 100% sure. You guys can fact check me in the comments about that. But this is the only Star Wars game I'm pumped up for now. I mean, it's just because I know what Respawn Entertainment's about and what they can bring, and I feel like this could be a really good Star Wars game we could be getting. Now let's get down to that number 12 spot with Gears of War 4. It's an upcoming third-person shooter video game for Xbox One. It takes place 25 years after the emulsion countermeasure weapon destroyed the Locust, Lambent, and Emulsion on Sarah. Unfortunately, fossil fuels were lost, which caused survival to change. Only hundreds of thousands of humans are left. The game focuses on JD Phoenix, the son of Marcus, as he battles a new threat to humanity's survival. This time around, it will be developed by the Coalition, which is a new developer. And so far what I've seen of it, it worries me with the graphics wise. It looks piss poor in a lot of ways. It doesn't look very good, but I hope the gameplay makes up for it. So far, the multiplayer looks pretty fun. I mean, I like the original trilogy, not too crazy about Judgment, but so far, I'm going to give the Coalition a chance with this, and I hope they just don't ruin this franchise and milk it out like a lot of other developers have done with other franchises. Let's get down to the number 11 spot with Overkill's The Walking Dead. It's a Walking Dead co-op first-person shooter from the Payday developers Overkill Software. It claims to deliver a completely new co-op experience to the Walking Dead universe that will explore new characters and storylines. It is scheduled to launch on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC in 2017. Hey, it's another Walking Dead game. I just hope it doesn't at all look any bit like Survival Instinct. What a nightmare of a game that was. But so far what I'm hearing from Overkill, it looks like it could be a lot of fun, and I love Payday. I love the franchise Payday. It's a fun FPS, and I hope that's what Overkill's The Walking Dead is, with some story. I mean, I always felt like Payday, if they had some better story, it would be a lot more well received and a lot more people would pay attention to the actual games. But moving right along to the number 10 spot, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's an upcoming open-world tactical shooter video game developed by Ubisoft Paris. Ubisoft says it will be one of the biggest open-world games they have ever published. The game will be playable on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The game is set in Bolivia, which in the game is the largest supplier of drugs like cocaine in the world. The supplier of such drugs are controlled by the Santa Blanca drug cartel, a powerful organization whose influence has destabilized the region. The rise in power of these drug cartels concerns the United States government, as they have become a world threat. As a result, the United States Army dispatches an elite special operations unit called the Ghost to destroy and reveal the evil connections between the drug cartel and the local government. So far what I've seen of it, it looks a lot fun, it looks innovative, and I love the fact that they're going open world with this. I kind of hope it has that Arma feel to it in a lot of ways. In all honesty, let's just hope this game delivers a great story and great gameplay, and we get something that we can play on for more than 30-40 hours. Now let's move on to our number 9 spot. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It's an upcoming cyberpunk themed action role-playing video game combining first-person shooter, stealth, and role-playing elements. It will be releasing August 2016 for PS4, Xbox One, PC. It's set in the year 2029, 2 years after the events of Human Revolution. The player's character is Adam Jensen, an augmented former private security officer now working with Interpol to capture a terrorist group of augmented humans. Jensen secretly works for the Juggernaut Collective, a hacker group helping him to confront the Illuminati. From the gameplay trailers and the videos I've seen, it looks like a beautiful game. The story looks intriguing, and I've never been really into this franchise, and I've started doing a lot more research, looking to the older games, starting to play them. And I really do like what I see. It looks a lot of fun. It looks like a game that should be in the future, not like some of the other titles that are out there right now. And that's something that I have to have on my list. Now let's get down to the number 8 spot, Battlefield 1. It's an upcoming World War I first-person shooter video game developed by EA Dice. It will be released on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One worldwide October 21st, 2016. It is set in the period of World War I and will be inspired by historical events. Players can make use of the World War I weapons, including bolt-action rifles, automatic and semi-automatic rifles, artillery, flamethrowers, and mustard gas to kill opponents. The campaign mode will have larger and more open environments than those in previous installments in the franchise, with more options and choices in terms of paths to completing levels and how to approach combat. Players will control several characters in the campaign. And honestly, guys, Battlefield's doing what they need to do, what Call of Duty should be doing, and it's going back into the past where the roots are, where the war started pretty much. And I love what I see right now through gameplay, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be playing this other than the other game on the other aisle, which is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. But in all honesty, I don't really get the name Battlefield 1. I get maybe because it's technically the first, it's supposed to be the first one in the franchise in ways with the setting through game. But either way, I'm pumped up for this, and I really do like what I see. Now let's get down to that number 7 spot with Borderlands 3. It was confirmed in April 2016, but it's in its early stages. The studio currently just released Battleborn. I mean, I just hope Gearbox, I said this in my other video too, I'm going to reiterate it one more time. I just hope they take their time with this and they deliver something that's amazing. There's a reason why it won Game of the Year, the Borderlands 2. It's just a fun first-person shooter. It's a different take on it, which a lot of people like, and myself, I love it. And I just hope they take their time and deliver us something that's equal or even better than what they brought us last time. Now let's get down to that number 6 spot, Left 4 Dead 3. It's rumored to be coming in 2017 following 4 new survivors, Catherine, Gangster Irvin, comic book nerd Keenan, and famous Kempo fighter Garrett Jr. It also has 6 separate campaigns to play, which are rumored to be No Mercy, Cliffhanger, Early Destination, Crashland, Impasse, and Inquisitor Land. I really hope that this rumor is true. I mean, there's just so much quality content that Valve has, and they just haven't delivered anything in years. I mean, I'm still waiting on a Half-Life 3, a Portal 3, maybe even Team Fortress 3. I mean, just so many 3s that we haven't gotten. We got sequels, but that's it. And I feel like this has to be, we have to be getting something from Valve at E3 this year. It's about time, you know? I get that they've been working on other projects, but it's time, guys. You got to revisit where you came from. And, I mean, this time around, Left 4 Dead's a perfect way to go. The zombie genre is just boosting even more. And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of gamers out there that want to go back to their roots for Left 4 Dead. Although we won't be getting it from the same studio, Turtle Rock, as they've moved on, we still have a chance of getting this from Valve, and I think Valve can deliver with this, as they pretty much did Left 4 Dead 2. At the number 5 spot, we have Bioshock 4. The series developer Irrational Games shut down last year, unfortunately, but 2K Marine has taken over and are producing a new Bioshock game. That was announced in 2014, that 2K Marine was making a new game. They originally actually worked with 2K Australia and developed Bioshock 2, although I feel like that's the weakest game. I feel like they're at least familiar with the franchise, and they know that they have a lot of high expectations for the future of what Bioshock could be bringing. Looking forward, I hope that this plot actually takes place in space. It would be interesting seeing a space city set in the Bioshock universe. It would be a lot of fun with some different types of weapons and guns that we could be using and the characters that we could explore. But anyway guys, let's keep on going, let's move on this train, and let's get down to that number 4 spot with Mafia 3. It will be an upcoming action-adventure video game for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's set in 1968 in the city of New Bordeaux. The story revolves around Lincoln Clay, an orphan and a Vietnam War veteran who's on a quest to build a new crime organization to confront the Italian mob which kills the whole black mob. Clay is saved by a priest and attempts to start his own criminal organization to get revenge. Clay is aided by 3 allies, which include Cassandra, Burke, and Vito Scaletta, who obviously was the main character of Mafia 2. It'll be releasing in October 7th, 2016. So far what I've seen, the gameplay looks a lot more fluid than what Mafia 1 and Mafia 2 brought. I feel like they've improved on that, and that's really one of the biggest issues I had with the original games, and I'm glad that they took their time and worked on that. And I mean, this time around, I'm glad that we also are able to, you know, just move along and be able to explore this little bit of a universe of New Bordeaux, which is pretty much New Orleans, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but maybe somebody can tell me in the comments. But either way, I'm glad that we can go straight through. Maybe there'll be side quests and stuff. I mean, that was my biggest thing. I get that the original Mafia games, it was just that main story, and we moved ahead in years or months and so on in different settings. That's what makes it feel more of a better experience for myself as a gamer who loves to explore open worlds and visit other characters and see what else there is to do. Now guys, let's get down to our top 3 with the number 3 spot, Call of Duty 4 Remastered. This will be released in the Legacy, Legacy Pro, and Deluxe versions of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It's being currently developed by Raven Software and executive produced by Infinity Ward. It's going to be released November 4th, 2016 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, obviously with Infinite Warfare. Fortunately, you're going to have to pay at least $80 for it. There will be a single-player campaign alongside 10 fan-favorite maps. 5 are confirmed so far: Bog, Overgrown, Crossfire, Crash, and Backlot. And the other 5 I think will be Shipment, Vacant, Wetwork, Showdown, and Countdown, but that could change any bit. My personal map I want to see has to be Vacant. I just love that map. And guys, this is one of the best games I ever played when I was younger. It made me an FPS fan, it made me a Call of Duty fan, and it set the stage, and that's why I love Respawn Entertainment. That's why I have a couple of their games on this, and I'm glad that we're going to get another taste of this with better graphics, and I'm glad we'll get it on these newer generation consoles. So I mean, I do hate the idea that we have to buy Infinite Warfare, but at the same time, I'm probably just going to get the game and then play Remastered and then return Infinite Warfare. But I guess if you are a younger generation, you'll probably like the jumping and all that stuff that the newer games bring in the space warfare, but for me, it's got to be the old school boots on the ground. Now let's get down to that number 2 spot, Cyberpunk 2077. It's planned to be an action role-playing video game by the developers of The Witcher 3. The game aims to be mature and ambitious, with character customization being strongly tied to the plot. Planned features include a non-linear story with different character classes, as well as both first-person and third-person perspectives. Cyberpunk 2077 will feature a dystopian, futuristic world in which ultra-modern technology coexists with a degenerated human society. Reports state the studio expects a late 2016 release, but more likely will be released sometime in 2017 or 2018, as the game has not been easy to develop with the changes in hardware that they've been using. Say what you want, but CD Projekt Red brought us one of the greatest games with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It changed the open world genre, and honestly video games in general, it's an amazing game. And I get this will be a different take for them, as they've never really gone outside of the Witcher franchise, but I have all my faith in them, and I think this will be one of the best FPS games or third-person shooter games out there when it does get released, hopefully in 2017 or 2018. I think 2016 is a little too early, because I think, as I've heard, they just started development on this. But anyway guys, let me know in the comments if you guys are really pumped up for Cyberpunk 2077. I know a lot of people are a little itchy about this, but if you guys have played the other Witcher games, you'll understand that they do a great job with story, and the way they made combat and gameplay in The Witcher 3, it just exceeds expectations for what a video game should be. Now let's get down to that number 1 spot with Red Dead Redemption 2. It was recently leaked with in-game map details showing the game will be a prequel with the ability to swim, and the game will be much larger compared to Red Dead Redemption. TechRadar revealed that a source close to them confirmed this map was legitimate. It's expected to be announced at E3 and released this fall. So far, Rockstar has said that they've been working on many new titles, hopefully sequels and hopefully some new IPs that I would love to see. I mean, Rockstar is a huge studio with various branches, and I love that they take their time on this. And Red Dead Redemption brought one of the greatest stories with John Marston, and I get they have to go in the past because, I mean, the Wild West is dying in the Red Dead Redemption. Either way, this has to be at the top of my list just because it's Rockstar Games and they have a reputation of being one of the best developers for a reason. And I hope that we do get an Undead Nightmare 2. It'd be a lot of fun to do that one more time at least. The only question that I have about Red Dead Redemption 2 right now is what to expect from their multiplayer. I know Rockstar's been working for a couple years now with GTA Online, and I know that it's delivered a lot of content and a lot of fun for a lot of other gamers, but it would be interesting seeing what a Wild West multiplayer this time around would be like. Anyway guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this top 20. Make sure you smack that like button if you did enjoy, and let me know in the comment section what shooter game you're looking forward to the most. These are just some of the many shooter games to come, and I'll see you guys next time.